Emerge about the pizza worker whose lie sent an entire state into lockdown. More restrictions about to be relaxed in Melbourne as health officials warn against complacency. A woman arrested over the stabbing of her adult son in one of Sydney's most exclusive suburbs. And Donald Trump Jr. tests positive to coronavirus as the president maintains pharmaceutical companies conspired against him.
This is 7 News with Sally Bowery.
South Australians are now just hours away from being released from strict lockdown measures imposed because of a lie from a COVID patient. While just one new case was recorded in South Australia today, authorities say the state isn't out of the woods yet. Tim Hatfield has more.
Well, they were some of the strictest lockdown measures in the world. South Australians were told we couldn't even go for a walk around the block. Now we know the so-called circuit breaker was based on a lie, but today authorities were defending their drastic action.
I have a set of principles, and the first one of those is the precautionary principle, and that's about acting swiftly without necessarily having all the information.
When a 36-year-old Spanish national on a temporary visa told Contact Tracers he was a customer at this pizza bar at the centre of the COVID cluster, it sparked a 6-day statewide lockdown. SA Health was worried of a new strain which could be spread through brief contact, something as simple as handling a pizza box. But it emerged yesterday the man had lied to authorities. He actually worked at the shop in close contact with another confirmed case.
Concerns around the information provided by this individual arose as a result of a review of the circumstances and information that was at our disposal, and as a result of that, detectives went to speak to this person, which was when he made disclosures about the true circumstances.
That resulted in authorities ending the lockdown 3 days early at midnight tonight. The ban on outdoor exercise was immediately lifted, and South Australians have been enjoying getting some fresh air today. Tomorrow, shops and businesses will reopen. Some pubs are planning to do so at 12:01. Gyms will also return, with schools set to go back for the final few weeks on Monday. But we're being warned this isn't over yet, with thousands of people still in lockdown due to connections with the initial outbreak and many still awaiting test results. We could see a spike in cases.
Victoria has recorded its 22nd day straight of no new COVID-19 infections. But coronavirus has been discovered in wastewater in Melbourne's southwest, and residents are being urged to come forward for testing. Paul Dowsley has more.
Melburnians are enjoying a warm weekend with friends and food and drink, and hope that restrictions will be eased further tomorrow. That's because, again, today, Victoria has had no new cases or deaths, and there's just one active case. So that's now 22 days without a new case, and understandably, we are celebrating. But there still are some concerns because fragments of the virus have been detected in wastewater at the Altona sewage catchment, prompting authorities to issue a plea to residents or visitors in Altona, Altona Meadows, Laverton, Point Cook and Sanctuary Lakes to be particularly vigilant and get tested no matter how mild symptoms are.
The result is really unexpected, given that there have been some 8 weeks since the last known resident in these areas had had a coronavirus illness or diagnosis.
Tomorrow, Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews is expected to confirm limits on outdoor public gatherings to increase to 50 people. You'll be allowed 10 visitors in your home, 100 customers inside pubs, restaurants and cafes, and 200 outside. Weddings and funerals, the limits there set to expand to 100. Today, Melburnians had their own wish list.
I think some more people being able to come over.
I'd like to get rid of these.
The masks, 100% the masks.
Confirmation of what restrictions are eased next are expected in a press conference from the Premier late tomorrow morning.
More good news for New South Wales, with no new COVID cases recorded overnight. And with summer just over a week away, one Sydney council is making it easier to keep beach crowds COVID safe. Evan Batten reports.
There's certainly very encouraging figures from overnight, with no locally acquired cases yet again in New South Wales. That now takes the total of consecutive days without any new cases spread in the community to 14. for New South Wales. New South Wales Health does tell us that while they are treating 70 people in state hospitals for coronavirus, none of them are in intensive care or requiring respirators. Now, while the borders with South Australia are still open, there is this message for anyone coming back into the state from South Australia.
We continue to encourage people to get tested, even if they display only the mildest of symptoms.
Local councils are also trialling new initiatives to keep people following the guidelines when at the beach this summer. Randwick Council has set up multiple live webcams at 6 of its beaches so that before you head to the sand or go for a sunbake, you can have a look online and check just how crowded the beaches are. The idea being that if it is not possible to practice good social distancing, that you leave your trip to the beach until later. They're also urging people not to stick around for too long at the beaches, but after you've had a swim, to head home.
Scott Morrison is urging the public not to let a damning report which uncovered alleged war crimes, including murder committed by Australian troops in Afghanistan, change the way they treat veterans. Let's go live to Rob Scott in Canberra. Good afternoon to you, Rob. This is the first time we've heard from the PM on the Brereton report since it was released on Thursday.
Yes, that's right, Sally. And today it was a virtual media conference because the Prime Minister is still in lockdown at the Lodge after returning from his visit to Japan earlier in the week. Scott Morrison describing the 4-year-long inquiry, which recommends 19 soldiers face criminal prosecution over the alleged murders of 39 Afghanis, as disturbing and distressing, and saying that these things must never be allowed to happen again. But he was also at pains to say that all the officers concerned are entitled to the presumption of innocence. And he doesn't want the contents of that report to taint the public's view of the thousands of men and women who have served with honour.
Every time that they might be at a remembrance service or something like that, I want Australians to look at them in the eye the same way they used to, with nothing more than respect and thanks, because that is exactly what they deserve.
Also in that report was recommendations that junior officers who were ordered to kill be given immunity from prosecution to convince them to testify against those who gave the orders. But the PM says that that is a matter for the newly created Office of the Special Investigator. Sally?
OK, thank you very much, Rob Scott in Canberra for us today. A mother has been charged over the stabbing of her adult son in the Sydney suburb of Bellevue Hill. As Laura Banks reports, the victim suffered stab wounds to his back and arms.
Good afternoon. Well, after more than 12 hours here at Waverley Police Station, a Bellevue Hill mother has been charged over the stabbing attack on her 22-year-old son, and she could very well spend another night in police custody. It was just before 2 a.m. last night when emergency services were called to the affluent suburb, finding the 22-year-old with stab wounds to his arms and back. He was fighting for his life. Police rescue was called in, the entrance to the house so steep, extra caution was needed to ensure the wounded man was carried from the home safely. Then, in cuffs, police led his 55-year-old mother to a waiting police van, distressed, shocked, almost as if in disbelief of the night's events.
He received a stab wound to the left arm, right shoulder and also in his back. Initially he had a very low blood pressure, indicating that he's got a significant amount of bleeding going on.
Neighbours today too speaking of their disbelief.
It is unusual. I've lived here about 3 years and I haven't experienced anything like that.
Police have so far charged the 55-year-old with wound with intent to cause grievous bodily harm. They are still processing her here at the police station and have not made a determination on her bail.
The family of a West Australian murder victim say they'll continue to fight for justice after a retrial found a man not guilty of murder. Scott Orstick spent nearly 13 years behind bars as a convicted killer. Cassidy Moscone reports.
Good afternoon. Scott Orstick is no longer a convicted murderer. Last night was his first as a truly free man. Our cameras were there as his family celebrated over his first beer in 13 years. 12 strangers took just a few hours to find him not guilty of Stacey Thorne's murder in the historic retrial. Stacey's body was found in the small town of Boddington in Perth South in 2007. She was stabbed 24 times while she was 21 weeks pregnant. Mr Orstick was charged and jailed. That conviction was thrown out with claims the investigation was botched. A retrial found Orstick innocent. Now he's vowing to find the truth.
I'd love for them to hand themselves in to say, give closure for the Thorne family and that. And yeah, that was my child that was taken away as well.
But one man's freedom brings heartbreak for others. Stacey Thorne's family shattered outside of court.
It's wrong what they done. It's wrong. That's my baby sister. She's the one who's not here with us.
No one has been held responsible for the murder of Stacey Thorne and her unborn child. Pressure is growing on WA authorities to launch a review into this miscarriage of justice.
President Trump's older son, Donald Trump Jr., has tested positive to coronavirus. The diagnosis has only been revealed now. A spokesman says Trump Jr. has been quarantining in his cabin since the start of the week. He is said to be asymptomatic following medical guidelines. It comes as the first pharmaceutical company seeks approval in America for its COVID vaccine, and the president continues to claim he won the election. Tim Lester reports.
Sally, for many here in Washington, a day worth applauding. The first potential COVID-19 vaccine is submitted here for regulatory approval. For President Trump, though, it's about a conspiracy. He claims big pharmaceutical companies held back vaccines to cruel his election chances.
Pfizer and others even decided to not assess the results of their vaccine. In other words, not come out with a vaccine until just after the election.
US pharmaceutical giant Pfizer and German partner BioNTech confirming today their emergency approval request with America's Food and Drug Administration.
Having the vaccine authorized mid-December in the US, in the best case scenario, we are expecting to have similar timelines for the rest of the world.
Australia's agreement with Pfizer would provide enough doses to vaccinate 5 million people. As the vaccine nears, President Trump broke a week's silence today to claim credit.
You wouldn't have a vaccine if it weren't for me for another 4 years, because FDA would have never been able to do what they did, what I forced them to do.
This as the president's eldest son, Donald Jr., tested positive for the coronavirus. As well, White House aide Andrew Giuliani has tested positive the day after he attended his father Rudy Giuliani's Washington press conference. America's third coronavirus wave continues to break records. More than 80,000 hospitalised, 187,000 new cases yesterday. For all this, President Trump is still focused on this month's election outcome.
Which I won, by the way, but, we'll find that out. Almost 74 million votes.
And hoping to overturn the result.
Of course, it's an abuse of office. It's an open attempt to intimidate election officials. It's absolutely appalling.
And Joe Biden turned 78 today, the oldest ever incoming US president. He is due to take the oath of office here 2 months from today. Sally.
Thank you, Tim. Still to come in 7 News. Finally, plans unveiled for the long-awaited rail link to Melbourne Airport. And the hunt for a gunman after a mass shooting in an American shopping mall. That's next.
A swim across the murky Brisbane River, then a beer and pie. Fitness has changed. Flashback 7 News, Sunday at 6.
The power of the sun goes on, and so does Origin. Origin has installed 1.3 million solar panels over the last 15 years. That's good energy that goes on and on. So you can shine on and on. Origin, good energy.
We're shaking things up, Queensland. With Containers for Change, you get 10 cents for every eligible drink container at your local container refund point. To find out where to cash in, visit containersforchange.com.au.
This year at Telstra, choosing to pay now or later. Using Telstra Plus points and trading in selected phones can help make gifting more affordable.
Shane's enjoying great prices on Christmas shopping at Amazon. So come the holidays, he can get his Christmas Shane on, aka Cool Uncle Shane, and his nan. Get your Christmas on with Amazon.
Right now at Target, spend and save on our new summer collection women's, men's and kids clothing, footwear and homewares. Spend $100, save $20. Offer ends November 22. Exclusions and conditions apply. Find more Better Buys in-store and online at Target.
Our microbiome is made up of more bacteria than there are stars in the Milky Way. Support your family's general health and well-being with LifeSpace probiotics. Discover LifeSpace at Chemist Warehouse.
Dreaming of an Audi Q? For an irresistible offer, visit the Audi Q sales event now.
On Weekend Sunrise, the new jobs boom. Who's hiring and how to nail that interview. Plus, trading in the car. Why now's the right time to cash in. From 7 a.m.
A man allegedly driving a stolen car has left a trail of destruction and injured a 7-year-old girl. Police say the 20-year-old man was behind the wheel of a car that collided with 3 other vehicles at a set of traffic lights in East Brisbane yesterday afternoon. Police body cam shows the moment an officer jumped off his motorbike and tackled him to the ground as he fled on foot. The prosecutor described him as a complete menace during a court appearance this morning. He was denied bail. Details were unveiled today for the long-awaited rail link between Melbourne Airport and the CBD. The state and federal governments joining together to fund the project after a massive job creation scheme for a post-pandemic recovery. Estelle Griepink has more.
It's been talked about for years, but now it seems that a link between Melbourne Airport and the city is finally going to be a reality. The Premier and the Prime Minister have struck an agreement on the rail design and will contribute $5 billion each.
This has been talked about for decades. The fact that it's going to become a reality because of our partnership is a proud moment and a very important moment.
The airport rail route will make its first stop at Sunshine in just 11 minutes, travelling via the new State Library station. Passengers will arrive at the new Town Hall precinct in just under half an hour, with a trip to the southeastern suburbs like Clayton taking just an hour. Traders in Sunshine, where a new super hub will be created, say they hope the rail will bring new customers to the area.
Boost the area, boost jobs, boost local businesses, especially now at the time that we need the most.
This is going to be fantastic news for the area.
The new airport line will also allow for a faster Geelong rail that will cut the commute to Southern Cross Station down to just 50 minutes. But while the project is slated to start in 2023, it's not yet known how long it will take to complete. But travellers to Melbourne will have to rely on Ubers, taxis and the Skybus for a little while yet. Construction on the airport rail is supposed to start in 2022. It's expected it will all be done by 2029.
A gunman has opened fire inside a crowded shopping mall in the American state of Wisconsin, injuring at least 8 people. There was panic as shoppers and staff ran to safety.
I just went into, the mode of let's get to a safe place as quickly as possible and make sure my mom is okay.
Police teams descended on the mall searching for the gunman, described as a white man in his 20s or 30s. At this point, he is still at large and there is no word on why he opened fire. Time for sport now with Matt Shervington. And Shervo, not a great morning for Israel Folau.
No, that's right, Sally. He had a chance to make another grand final, but it went horribly wrong. That's next. Also, the Wallabies focus before a rugby championship showdown with Argentina. And Virat Kohli's Aussie nemesis ready to take down the king again.
He's the biggest star in India today. His name is Virat Kohli. Australia's up against the most formidable rival they've ever faced.
We won't let that phase us. We're playing for all Australians. We will never, ever back down.
Our Aussies take on the might of India.
The first test starts December 17 on 7.
Gatorade studies the best athletes to create the most advanced range of sports fuel. Gatorade, you fuel us, we fuel you.
Lucky
I'm Jade, owner of the Organic Dog Co. I was struggling to find organic and natural dog treats, so I started making my own. I wanted our treats to be fun and cute, but also have a nutritional value. During COVID, we couldn't supply to a lot of our pet stores, so dog owners can purchase our treats online at theorganicdogco.com or at our Instagram.
Lucky you're with Amy.
Lisa's enjoying great prices on Christmas shopping at Amazon. So come the holidays, she can get her Christmas Lisa on. And everybody loves Christmas Lisa. Get your Christmas on with Amazon.
At Snooze, we understand in life that everyone is unique. Using our Snooze Profiler technology, we provide you with your very own sleep profile to help you take the guesswork out of choosing a bed that suits you.
So, your T-Cross, does it come in orange?
Don't think so.
It comes in orange. The new T-Cross. You'll just want one.
Volkswagen.
La 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 la
Hello, welcome back. Well, offbeat leg spinner Adam Zampa could be Australia's kryptonite to India's Superman Virat Kohli in the upcoming one-day series. Zampa has dismissed Kohli 7 times in limited overs matches, so the Indian skipper rates the attacking leggy highly, and the feeling is mutual.
He's a massive competitor and one of the, probably the best one-day player of all time. So you always got to be on.
A vegan, Zampa has been ordering organic veggies while the Australian squad is in lockdown. The first ODI between Australia and India is next Friday in Sydney. The Wallabies are in for a torrid and volatile contest with World Rugby's new sentimental favourites, Argentina, in Newcastle tonight. The Australians prepared with some yoga and meditation this morning.
We know they're going to be hard at the breakdown. We know we've got to kick better than the All Blacks did in that test.
Both sides are fresh from toppling the All Blacks and eyeing the Rugby Championship trophy. Former Wallaby Israel Folau hardly touched the ball in the English Super League Grand Final qualifier this morning. His Catalan Dragons were thrashed 48-2 by St Helens. James Graham was concussed in the first half and has to pass test to finish his 18-season career with the grand final against Wigan. 33-year-old Novak Djokovic remains on track to become the oldest winner of the ATP finals after a straight-set slugfest against Alexander Zverev, despite the German prevailing over the world #1 in his 16-shot rally.
Incredible tennis. What a point.
Having lost only 4 matches this year, Djokovic now meets Dominic Thiem in the semi-finals. And Sally, I really want the Wallabies to win tonight against Argentina. But last week, that was enormous watching Argentina beat the All Blacks. So it's going to be a great game in Newcastle. Go the Wallabies. Go the Wallabies.
Thanks for that, Shervo. Still to come in 7 News, we'll have all your weather details right around the country.
Anita Cobby's murder united a country. But few know it came down to one crucial piece of evidence to catch her killers.
What happened will send shockwaves through an entire nation.
Crime Investigation Australia, Sunday on 7.
Tonight, I'll be eating an acai bowl with almond granola and organic vanilla protein powder. What about you, little fella? You want a treat?
Tonight, I'll be eating a spicy vindaloo with 10 papadums.
Legend.
Yummy.
What even are you?
A 40-year-old bath mat with a hand up its butt.
Should probably talk about those legs too.
Yeah, right after we talk about your jaw.
Hey, Queensland. It's time to explore like never before. From long lunches to long weekends. Family road trips and getaways with the whole crew. Share big adventures. Dive into brand new discoveries. Explore the unexpected. Or escape to your own perfect hideaway. Let's get out there and enjoy the magic of summer. Queensland, you're good to go.
Fifi, Teddy, Jana.
If you really like dogs, you want to give them triple protection against fleas and ticks, intestinal worms, and deadly heartworm. So, if you're a dog person, you're a Simparica Trio person too.
At Spotlight, life's what you make it with 40% off Riley curtains and blinds, 40% off ready-to-hang forward Venetian blinds, 30 to 40% off all made-to-measure curtains, blinds and shutters, so you can roll it, hang it and keep it warm for less. Sail on now. At Spotlight, it's what you make it.
There's a better way to Christmas. Discover hundreds of gift ideas for kids at Target, including arts and crafts, tech, toys and more, all in one place. Find them in-store or at target.com.au.
For a limited time only at Amart Furniture, we've got our Mega Black Friday sale with up to 50% off store-wide on hundreds of items. So what are you waiting for? Amart Furniture, on sale this week only.
Congratulations now for two of our own colleagues, reporter Amelia Brace and cameraman Tim Myers, who have been recognised with a Walkley Award for their work during the Black Lives Matter protests in the US. They continued broadcasting live despite being assaulted by American police in a brutal crackdown outside the White House in June. Amelia Brace later gave evidence at a US congressional committee as part of an investigation into the police response to the peaceful protests. The Walkley Awards are Australian journalism's highest honour. All right, quick check of the weather now. And on the satellite, we have a low and some embedded troughs sweeping through the south of the country with some thunderstorms firing up across South Australia and parts of New South Wales associated with that. The capital cities for tomorrow, we will see some showers and storms through Adelaide and Melbourne as that trough moves through. Sydney, a few late storms possible, 25 degrees, but it'll be fine in Brisbane, 30 there. Over in the west, sunny in Perth, 29. And that is 7 News to now. Our next bulletin is 7 News at 6. I'm Sally Barry. Thanks for your company.